again!
It's over!
He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net.
Nice one.
Straight down the middle. So a good
Hi, you're watching Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get started. Right, on the show today, our focus continues to be on the noise around India versus Pakistan post the shocking attack in Kashmir's Pahalgam. Cricketer Shahid Afridi is continuing to be a repeat offender in insulting India, but has he crossed the lines here? And how hard will his comments hurt Pakistan as all of their financial revenue sharing gains hang in the balance? I'll tell you why. Meanwhile, the internet has gone after Gujarat captain Shubman Gill for his comments on Vaibhav Suryawanshi's knock at the IPL against his side. Why is he being trolled, and is there any merit in this stand? And Paris Saint-Germain is on the brink of a Champions League title. Contrastingly, Real Madrid are having a series of woes of their own to deal with. All of this after the Kylian Mbappe handover. Is the Mbappe curse for real? All of this is heading your way, but first a look at the headlines on Sports 360. We'll start with cricket and the IPL. Kolkata keep their playoff hopes alive with a 14-run win over Delhi in the capital city. Put it to bat first, Angrish Raghuvanshi's 44 helped Kolkata set a target of 205. In reply, Sunil Narine picked 3 wickets to restrict Delhi to 190. The defending champions are in the 7th spot with 9 points. This was Delhi's 3rd defeat at home this season. In tennis, former world number 1 Novak Djokovic has withdrawn from the Rome Masters. This after the Serb crashed out of the Madrid Open in the first round earlier this week. For the first time since 2007, Djokovic will miss the ATP Masters event in Italy. The world number 5 will directly compete at the French Open starting next month. Meanwhile, in women's tennis, world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka has cruised into the Madrid Open quarterfinals. Sabalenka beat Peyton Stearns in straight sets to register her 20th win in the Spanish capital. She will next face Marta Kostyuk as the 3-time Grand Slam winner eyes her 3rd Madrid Open title. 2-time Grand Slam doubles champion Max Purcell has been suspended for 18 months for breaching anti-doping laws. The Aussie consumed certain vitamins over the permissible limit. He was already on a provisional suspension since December last year. The International Tennis Integrity Agency, or the ITIA, accepted Purcell's plea that the consumption was unintentional. And cricket has been retained for the 2026 Asian Games in Japan. India won gold both in men's and women's categories in the 2023 Games. The sport will be part of 41 events where 15,000 athletes and officials are expected to take part. Mixed martial arts will make its debut in Japan. The right response when caught out is to either show some remorse or try to take action to negate something similar from ever happening again. Pakistan is doing neither. The country is continuing to be defiant post the Pahalgam attack, including their cricketers, even as relations between the two neighbors keep deteriorating. And while things are intensifying, so are the war of words. Is Pakistan shooting themselves in the foot with such a brazen approach? Because if the sporting ties do end, the already struggling Pakistan Cricket Board will reach depths unseen. Despite the situation currently, former Pakistani cricket captain Shahid Afridi is refusing to keep his wits about him. A row which he himself started by blaming the terror attack in Kashmir's Pahalgam on the Indian Army. And while Afridi did get slammed from both sides of the border for his remarks, the biggest retort came from former India opener Shikhar Dhawan. But it seems like Afridi didn't learn his lessons even after the backlash. Two things to note here. First, Afridi bragging about an incident that happened in the past, and while Pakistan do think they won that battle by making such comments, maybe they need a reminder that the Indian soldier came back home safe and sound. Second, and this is just as important to note, the choice of attire in that tweet. the yellowish desert camouflage denoting the color of the Pakistani army. What Afridi is trying to show here is that he stands with his country's armed forces. Maybe Afridi is mistaking this to be a cricket battle. It is war where failure isn't an option. Like Afridi often failed while batting for Pakistan, his 30 ducks in one-day internationals proof of that. He can't just walk away with such a lackluster show here. And while the former captain is thinking that this fearless comment spree is what his country needs at this point to show an unfazed united front, it is most likely going to backfire. Because at stake here, in addition to a strong retaliation from India, is a complete full stop to sporting ties between the two nations that includes their biggest revenue generator, cricket. I want to remind you once again of what we've already spoken about. Under ICC's current revenue sharing model, India, of course, holds the giant share. It's the highest with 38.5%. England, that's around 6.9%. That's a vast difference for a very big sporting and cricketing country here. Australia, of course, comes close, third, but Pakistan come fourth with 5.8% share. And the rest of the members, including the associate nations, take home 42.5%. Which is divided between the nations. Now, while I agree Pakistan have a history of being one of the strongest cricketing nations, they have produced world champions. Their recent performances clearly do not match up to that revenue share model. They haven't won an eighth trophy in 8 years, haven't won an ICC trophy in 8 years. They have failed to go past the group stages in the last 3 ICC events, despite being the hosts in one of them. And what's worse is that Pakistan have failed to attract their own fans. With Pakistan's poor form and the results what it is, the craze for the sport in the country is also dwindling rapidly. The only way Pakistan contributes to ICC revenues is through the India versus Pakistan fixtures. The biggest blockbuster in cricket isn't just the eyeball generator, but a massive monetary influx for the ICC and the broadcasters. The India versus Pakistan matches in the last 2 decades have helped the ICC earn around $1.3 billion. The advertisers are ready to splurge as close to $59,000 for just a 10-second advert during the India-Pakistan matches. Because this is where the maximum viewership for the entire tournament comes from. It's a money-making opportunity for every industry involved, which is the reason why ICC makes sure the two are put in the same group. But with tensions growing between the two nations and murmurs of a boycott gaining more ground and momentum, Pakistan is not on comfortable footing here, which puts our neighbors in a very precarious position because India won't feel the pinch at all. India shares an intense rivalry with other nations too, be it Australia or England. We've seen fantastic contests, especially more than just being one-sided when it comes to these face-offs. And Indian cricket superstars can woo any audience on any given day, anywhere. So Pakistan needs to realize that without India, Pakistan cricket will lose out on a large chunk of the revenue that it earns. Already in financial doldrums over the cumulative setbacks of the last couple of years, that's already pulling them down. This crisis that the PCB has been trying to mitigate looks set to hit an all-new low. Gujarat lost to Rajasthan a couple of nights ago, a rare loss coming in an otherwise flawless campaign for them. But clearly, one youngster's maverick knock made the difference between the two sides as Gujarat was blown away. The internet has not stopped buzzing about this game, but more importantly, the boy who stamped his class all over it. 14-year-old Vaibhav Suryavanshi. But among all the adulation, the praise and awestruck responses that is flooding the internet, there is also a large section of the public, cricket fans and commentators, who seem to be targeting the Gujarat captain Shubman Gill. Popular belief is that Gill was not too pleased with his team losing, and specifically with the young 14-year-old Vaibhav Suryavanshi's performance against his side. That's right, the Gujarat captain is being heavily criticized and trolled for a comment he made right after the match concluded. Before we go any further, let me first show you what Shubman Gill said when commentator Darren Ganga asked him about the whirlwind of a knock from a 14-year-old.
It was his day. His hitting was just tremendous, and he made full use of his day.
Gill said it was clearly Vaibhav's day and he hit some tremendous shots against them. He ends saying Vaibhav made great use of his day, and that's all it took for the cricket fanatics in the country to lash out at Gill, saying the least he could have done is not attribute this unprecedented performance down to luck. And it did not stop here. A commentator who's often been in tough times himself, who was in tough times himself during his playing days, too went after Gill's innocuous comment.
But a 14-year-old to believe in himself, the amount that he believes in himself, and to take it that far, even if it's, one day, like some player on the television just said, oh, it was just his lucky day.
Now let's get something straight here. Nowhere has Shubman Gill termed the knock a lucky hit. Yes, he probably was a tad brief in his appreciation, but can we cut him some slack here? His team just lost, and terribly, thanks to the heroics of a 14-year-old. That doesn't happen too often. He was blown away as is. He realized there was little he could do out there to even slow that kid down. Of course, it was an unbelievably stunning display against his own team. So maybe we can forgive him for being a tad shocked for a few seconds there. Gill is relatively a youngster himself. He knows what going up the ranks and working your way up the cricketing ladder really entails. Vaibhav Suryavanshi had to travel 6 hours from where he was staying to Patna to train 4 days a week. His mother never slept. His father made that arduous journey along with him. His brother played the support casting role in all of this. You have to safely assume Gill understands what this means for Vaibhav Suryavanshi. And maybe all this trolling has made me ask many of you here, the die-hard cricket fans, to probably take a step back. Now, it's easy to get swept away by the magnitude of the moment itself. It's so much easier to go crazy and gaga over Vaibhav and praise him till the sun comes down, because it is the kind of performance we've never witnessed and never expected to. To applaud and cheer this gutsy cricketer is so naturally right and feels satisfying that it is that easy to go overboard with it all. But maybe this is also a lesson in trying to be circumspect. It's great to live in this moment and heap praise on the youngster, but maybe as passionate sports lovers, it's also essential to gain perspective. Be measured in the accolades we shower just as much as the criticism we lash out. And maybe spare a thought for Vaibhav too. What he needs more than anything, particularly now, is a sense of balance, so that he will be able to accept the odd failures that come along just as graciously and with more maturity as he has the success so far. The exit of a star figure often leaves a massive void in the team. The outfit has to then try to figure a way to make things click just as it was earlier, to recreate that same magic. Like when Barcelona struggled after Messi's move to Paris Saint-Germain, or how it took Australian cricket team, the men's team, years to get over their exit, over the stars exiting, Ricky Ponting, Glenn McGrath, Shane Warne and the like, before they once again became a strong force. Every unit takes time to adjust to change, and it can be brutal. Ask West Indies men's cricket squads and they'll tell you. But for one football club, such an exit is proving to be a blessing. French club Paris Saint-Germain are shining, especially after their highest goal scorer, Kylian Mbappe's departure for Real Madrid last year, while the team he's joined seems to be going through a difficult time. So is Mbappe the real curse? Now, PSG beat a confident Arsenal, set up 1-0 in the first leg of the UEFA Champions League semi-finals at the Emirates, and when they host the Gunners at their home, the advantage will be clearly theirs, because they already have 1 foot into the door of a major European final. And it isn't just at the Champions League. They were crowned the French League champions about a month ago. PSG will compete in the Coupe de France final next month, putting the club favourites to make it a historic treble, their first. What's ironic here is if PSG do manage to complete that treble, it would be without their biggest superstar, Kylian Mbappe, because the French captain joined Real Madrid in search of that elusive Champions League trophy. A club that are known to be European giants because of their record 15 titles. But ever since Mbappe has joined Real Madrid, they have struggled to win a major silverware. The Spanish giants couldn't defend their Champions League title. They lost to Barcelona in the Copa del Rey final. And in the League too, they are 4 points behind table toppers Barcelona, and with just 5 matches remaining. All really reinforcing the kind of abysmal season both Madrid and Mbappe have had. And what's worse for Mbappe is that following his Hollywood-style unveiling last year, the French forward has come under massive scrutiny for his failures. Sure, he's had a decent season with 34 goals in 50 matches, but those goals were missing when his team really needed them the most, basically when challenging for trophies. Another thing that's made Mbappe's season rather intense has been the fallout with PSG. He's involved in a legal battle with his former club over unpaid dues. Shots have been fired from both sides, and the ugly battle is far from over, making him not the most liked figure in the French capital at this point.
In past seasons, the Paris Saint-Germain project revolved around individual stars, players who at times seemed bigger than the club itself. Kylian Mbappe was the last of those icons. With his departure, PSG has turned a page. Today, there are no oversized egos, no global megastars dominating the spotlight. The true star is the team.
For years now, the tag of football curse was restrained and restricted to Harry Kane, his failure to win a major silverware for every team he's represented. But the table seems to have turned for Kane too. Bayern Munich will likely secure the Bundesliga title over the weekend, but for Mbappe, things look rather gloomy. Sure, he has won multiple league titles in Paris, a World Cup with France, but his failure to win the European title raises the question, is the Champions League curse now upon him? What are your thoughts? Time for last serve. Saul Canelo Alvarez and Cuban William Skull will compete for the super middleweight world title in the Battle of Champions. The hype is already building up in Riyadh with a grand arrival. Take a look. That wraps it up here on First Sports. I'll see you again tomorrow. Till then, do take care. Bye-bye.